What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Anthony, and today we have another Cardano video for you. We are going to really focus in on why I believe this is the calm before the storm for not only Cardano, but also for Bitcoin itself, as it has been having a rough time breaking above $60,000 and breaking into new highs. Cardano has fallen into kind of a similar pattern here, really just up 2.5% over the last 7 days, and is really, if you've been watching it, it's been around this $1.20 level for quite some time. We're going to talk about that in this video, talk about some news-related catalysts that could propel it higher, and let you know when I believe it's possible for Cardano to have another big move. And if you're someone who is serious about incorporating cryptocurrency into your overall wealth building strategy, go ahead and subscribe to our channel now in the bottom right portion of your screen. We do cover Cardano regularly. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to begin this video focusing on the TA, and then in the second half, we'll get into some news-related catalysts, which I believe could potentially push the price higher over time. But I really want to explain to you what's been happening on the charts here. By the way, give the video a like if you want to see more Cardano content from me. And so let's talk about these three consolidation areas. First of all, you see they've got some different lengths here. The first one being, this is the 1-day chart, by the way. So the first one is 39 days, second one's 27 days, and the one we are currently in is actually 44 days long. But I'm gonna let you know why I don't think that's so crazy, and I think it could go on even longer. And so let's zoom in and look at the first one. Our first consolidation period happened in November 24th of 2020. And this was after we had made a move from 10 cents all the way up to roughly 20 cents. So this is about 100% gain. And after we did that, Cardano needed to consolidate, and it took 40 days before we broke those previous all-time highs to break out. Once we finally did break out in beginning of January of 2021, which, by the way, is nuts to say, we were at 20 cents at the beginning of January 21. Think about that. We're trading at $1.20. That's like a 6x just from the beginning of January. So this has been one of the biggest moving, most exciting projects in coins in cryptocurrency. And it has really all of a sudden slowed down a lot and become much less volatile. So that's why I really felt it necessary to kind of break this down for us. But starting on January 2nd, we pumped from 19 cents all the way up to a high. So the high was actually 36 cents, but 20 to 36 cents, just almost 100% gain. And then after that, we were consolidating in this range before we broke above it for 27 days. And this is really what needs to happen. And maybe I should have said this before we looked at the first consolidation zone, but after the market goes nuts and pumps really hard, it needs to take a break, and it's only healthy for it to do so. And I heard another analyst today talking about lifting weights. And he was saying, if you want to do, let's say, 300 push-ups, that is possible. It's possible for anyone to do, but you have to work up to that. You're not going to do 300 push-ups at once. You'll do, say, maybe 50 or 75. Then you'll take a break. You'll do a little bit more. You'll take a break. You'll reboot. You'll do a little bit more, etc. And that's exactly what happens in financial markets. And so look at this pump here. This was the crazy one. This was from 46 cents up to pretty much where we are now. And our recent high was after the Coinbase listing, and that was about $1.50, as I'm sure you're aware of if you've been invested in the project and been watching it like I have. Now, there's more going on here, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes from a technical analysis standpoint. We do have a pattern I want to point out, but I've flattened it down a lot, and I want to mention how this is 44 days of consolidation. Now, do I think the consolidation is over? Or do I think we're going to break out of here tomorrow or within the next week? I would say it is possible, and I'll show you the pattern, but I also would not be surprised if it took us 2, 3, or even 4 weeks before we saw a significant breakout. So I do think we could bounce around in between $1 and, let's say, $1.35 in this range for a little while longer. I know that's not the most exciting news to hear, but being that this breakout was just so explosive, it would stand to reason that Cardano, or ADA itself anyway, needs to really relax for a longer period of time because we had a larger breakout. And just to put that into a true metric, right, from this all-time high tier to the $1.50 was a 230% breakout. So that was the most explosive move we've seen, which may require an even longer period of consolidation. Next, I want to talk to you about these Bollinger Bands. And this is actually going to probably support the idea that a breakout could be coming. Generally, if you don't know, what Bollinger Bands do is they are a momentum indicator which focuses around moving averages. And they generally show you the top end and the lower end of a coin's price action. Okay, if you get to the top, it's said to be overbought. If you get to the bottom of a range, which we haven't seen because we're in such a crazy bull market over here you go. Here's a good example. If you get to the bottom of a range here, it's said to be oversold. And you can see as you touch the bottom, you actually sprung back up. So this could potentially be considered a buy signal, right? So that's something to keep in mind. But what we're looking at right now is this idea of a squeeze. And the squeeze is the central concept of Bollinger Bands. When the bands come close together, constricting the moving average, it's called a squeeze. A squeeze signals a period of low volatility and is considered by traders to be a potential sign of future increased volatility and a potential trading opportunity. And so what is this trading opportunity? Well, at the moment, we are forming a symmetrical triangle, which is potentially a bullish continuation chart pattern. And you can see we have this downwards diagonal support line and this upwards diagonal resistance line. Now, it should be noticed this isn't the cleanest formation in the world. There are a lot of very long wicks here. But nonetheless, if you look at the bodies of the candles themselves, you can see it is kind of adhering to this, and we are consolidating and getting tighter and tighter. Now, if you just look at this formation, it would stand to reason that we could see a breakout by April 17th of this year. So really, within the next 10 days or so. And if that were to happen, you would take the height of the triangle to figure out where that could go in the upside. So we could go as high on that breakout to $1.86. Of course, we'd have to break $1.50 first. And that might be a point where we hit resistance. But if we were to break out to the downside, because that is possible, right? If there's some extremely bullish, let's say Ethereum news or Binance news, that might place some fear, uncertainty, and doubt in some Cardano's investors' minds and traders, right? That could trigger a downward move. This is less probable, but also a possibility. That could take us about as low as 56 cents, which I definitely don't see happening in this bull market, but it is a possibility. I think a more realistic target, if we broke out down, I would keep an eye on $1. It has been holding $1, as you can see here, extremely well. If we broke down past $1, I would look at 81 cents as the next level of significant support. But I'm not anticipating a downwards breakout. If anything, I am anticipating either an upwards breakout within the next 10 days or potentially more consolidation followed by an upwards breakout. And the main reason I'm saying that is because of the Alonzo hard fork. And that is coming. This piece of news came out just today on April 9th. And let's just talk about this. According to Peyton Jones, who is a researcher at IOHK, he says the network will utilize the hard fork combinator technology to implement Alonzo into the network. And we'll talk about what Alonzo is in a second. Additionally, the engineer revealed that the upgrade will add support for smart contracts and digital agreements for Cardano in 4 months' time within this year. So, we're going to be seeing Alonzo roll out. We're going to be seeing Cardano have the ability to implement smart contracts, which will pave the way for DeFi, right? And decentralized apps for developers. People are already starting to develop and at least have proposals for projects. There's a lot that's starting to happen, but the floodgates will open when the Alonzo hard fork is complete. And that will happen potentially roughly by, let's say, probably July, if they say 4 months' time from now. And that's also the same time that Ethereum's improvement proposal 1559 is going to go through. That will be a huge upgrade for them too. So that could be a wildly bullish month. I'd say July could be crazy for smart contract platforms like Ethereum and, of course, like Cardano. And the other thing that we'll have to look forward to around that time is that Cardano is also going to allow developers to work with collectibles, crowdfunding, or auctions. So we talk about collectibles, we are talking about NFTs. And Charles Hoskinson said that Cardano was planning to give the importance to the NFT marketplace. This is something that he's mentioned before. This is something that I've mentioned before on this channel. Again, subscribe to the channel for future Cardano updates. But these are some of the planned events that could propel the news upward. But I would also not be surprised to see some more consolidation. I really want to put your mind at ease if this consolidation was starting to worry you, like if you have a lot of money invested here, and you're starting to say, what's going on? Why isn't my money going anywhere? Like if you bought at $1.50, if you FOMO'd in, and now you're seeing your money kind of fall a little bit. I think if you're patient, this isn't financial advice, but I think if you're patient, you will see another breakout to the upside. Do me a favor and like this video. And let me know in the comment section, when do you think Cardano will break out to the upside? I want to wish you well and thank you for watching. Enjoy the ride.